much as I want to say the Suns won, the Clippers blew this one. And I think both teams, there's a stretch in the fourth quarter where both teams started to feel the pressure because they were missing easy shots. They were missing layups. And this is when you know you missed the pressure. Chris Paul was 36 of 36 from the free throw line. And he went up there and clanked one.
He did.
Zubac, Skip, they had opportunity after opportunity from the free throw line. I'm not talking about, now I'm going to get to the field goals, but Skip, from the free throw line, Zubac have a chance to give them the lead. He misses both. Paul George, again. Reggie Jackson, again. And it gets to a point where you say, you know what, Skip? It's just not our day. We done had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity to either tie the game or take the lead. And we can't buy a basket. And it starts to mess with you mentally. It's like you playing a football game and Skip, we do everything. And for some reason, we just can't get the ball in the end zone. And you're like, man, it's not our day. But they had so many cracks. And, you know, if they could just get that one shot to fall, that would tie the ball game, Skip, or give them the lead, you're like, okay, here go the Clippers, because that's what they normally do. We saw them against Utah, Skip. They struggle, and they hit that one shot to give them the lead, and then they take off. And in this game, for whatever reason, they weren't able to make it, but I thought the pressure. Skip, Paul George, your guy, you keep telling me he's playoff P. Now, this is what he did on Saturday with the game in the balance. They can have either tie the game or take the lead.
Yep.
This is what playoff P did. Here he is right here. This is his first 6 shots, Skip. Was that close? Unless they got 2 baskets and one on the other side of the one he tried. What is that? What was that? That's a turnover. Look at this. I mean, these not even, Skip, the thing is they're not even close. Look at, here he is again, this playoff P right here. That's the shot that he hit the other night, the game to give him the lead.
I saw the game. I saw it.
And so I'm saying to myself, Clippers, the Suns are feeling the pressure just like you are. They're giving you every opportunity to win this game. Skip, you can't be at home. You hold a team to 85 points and you lose the game. You can't do that. And you told me this was the best three-point percentage shooting team in all of basketball.
I didn't tell you they were.
Oh, they were?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. So what? 5 of 31. You told me they were historic from the free throw line. You said no team has shot better from the free throw line in a calendar season than this Los Angeles Clipper team.
Yep.
So 21 of 32. Is that good? They look like the Lakers out there shooting free throws. They lost this game. It wasn't what the Suns did. Now, we could talk about, I'll skip all that, where the Suns locked out on defense. A lot of what was happening wasn't because of defense. I think it had to do with nerves. I thought it had to do with the moment because I saw too many misses of shots they had made against the Mavericks, shots they had made against Utah. They were unable to capitalize on Saturday. So I don't think the Suns won. I thought the Clippers lost this ball game. And the guys that you were counting on, PG again, Skip. How's that? What is this shooting from? What did he shoot from the field, Skip? 5 of 20? 5 of 20. Told you the other night, his efficiency is awful. Again, he's taking 11, 12 shots in the first quarter. Nah, that's not good enough. They lost this game. In the moment, even Steve Ballmer, Paul George went to the free throw line and missed that shot. He just ducked his head, just shook his head like rail. And dead president, put his head down. Got it.
Okay, unfortunately, it is now my turn. I do not disagree with any point you made. You didn't make them harshly enough. The Los Angeles Clippers are simply the most frustrating team I have ever rooted for in all of my career. All my career, I can't remember anything like this. Game 4 on Saturday night was simply the most excruciating game I have ever witnessed. You can ask my wife, Ernestine, and my little daughter, quote unquote, Hazel, our Maltese. I was out of my mind because the Suns kept saying, here, you take it. No, you take it. It's your night. You take it. You take it. You take it. You take it. The Suns were choking their brains out just like Paul George was choking his brains out. And just to show you how objective I was, you can check my timeline because right in the middle of that fourth quarter, that misery that I was suffering, I tweeted, I'm sorry, but my man Paul George is choking his guts out right now.
What?
That's what I said. Just for the record, I said that. If you want to call him Pandemic P today, if you want to ridicule him, if you want to condemn him, if you want to dismiss him forever and ever, be my guest because he deserved it. That was their home game, not Phoenix's home game. They were down 2-1, not Phoenix down 2-1. So the onus was on the home team to make one little shot. Just make one shot to go ahead because the score got stuck on 71-70. But quickly, let's look back at what had happened. Just when I thought my Clippers would get blown out for the first time in this playoffs, you realize in all the losses they've had this year, they have not been blown out one time. And what happened? They fall behind early third quarter, 52-36. And I'm like, that's it, because Phoenix is just too good.
Right.
Phoenix is too good on both sides of the ball because they play high-level defense. They get up into you and after you. And what happened? Here came the Clippers again, miraculously. Here comes Reggie Jackson. He hit 4 out of 8 shots in the third quarter. And they scratch and they claw. And all of a sudden you look up and they're back in the game.
Back in the game.
Against Chris Paul and the Phoenix Suns. They are back in the game. So what happens? There's a technical called on Devin Booker, and Paul George goes to the free throw line 3 straight times. This is with 10:07 left. The first one's a technical foul shot, so he's got to shoot it by himself. Swish. Then he's got 2 shots to shoot by himself, but except they all come back in, obviously. He goes to the line for the first shot, swish. Now it's all of a sudden 71-70. So all you have to do is make your third straight free throw, and you have tied the game. And somehow it would feel very differently to get to 71 all than to be down 1, right?
Yep.
And if we could see what happened, it's up and it's not down. How many of those have you seen from him? It's just a little bit short where it catches front iron, back iron, lips back out. Okay. So here we go. And from that point on, the Clippers proceed to miss 15 of their last 17 shots. That's hard to do. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? So are the Suns. They are matching each other for misery.
Brick for brick.
Brick for brick. They're building a new Staples Center. They could have built a second one with the bricks that they shot, both of them. Because in the fourth quarter, Chris Paul went 1 of 7. So did Paul George, 1 of 7. And in the fourth quarter, you look and you say, well, wait a second. Look at the shooting stats for just the fourth quarter alone.
They were awful.
They're pathetic. But in the end, I can sum this game up. Phoenix was a little less awful than the Clippers were. That's the bottom line takeaway. Somehow they were a little less awful because you look at Phoenix was 4 of 19 in the fourth quarter. Well, the Clippers were 3 of 19, so it was just like 1 shot better, okay?
And that was the summation of the fourth quarter. It was 1 shot. You make 1 shot.
And the Clippers were 0 of 6 from 3 in the fourth quarter. Well, the Suns managed to go only 0 of 3 from 3. So you got me, right?
Right.
And in the end, so what happens? They get stuck on 71-70. Neither team can make a shot, and it's just I'm just going to read these. We don't have to show them. But Batum misses a 3. These are all to go. These are for the lead. Batum misses a 3. Then Cameron Payne blocks Terrence Mann. Then Paul George misses a 3. Paul George, you showed it, the wild drive. I don't know what he was doing. He just throws it up into the crowd. It has no chance. Then he misses a fadeaway, as you showed. And then Big Zoo, he's got a wide open 18-footer. And he's like, well, nobody else can make a shot. I might as well shoot a little set shot. And he misses that one. No, unguarded. And then Reggie Jackson gets into the act, and he misses a 3. That's to go up 2. And then Paul George misses a 16-footer. That's to go up 1. And then Big Zoo has a turnover with a chance to go up 1 or 2 at that point, 6:35. And finally, Chris Paul alley-oops to 8, and then it broke the spell, and finally that makes it 73-70 the Suns. And yet here come the Clippers again. Paul George misses again from 18 feet. And then Reggie Jackson has a driving layup that he misses. Then they have at 4:06 a shot clock violation. All these are chances to go up, up, up. All you got to do is cash one of these, and maybe the momentum shifts completely to you. And then finally, 3:24 left. Reggie Jackson misses a 3 to tie, and 2:55, Paul George misses a 3 to tie. Well, I'm on the floor. I'm wiped out. I'm sweating. I yelled to Ernestine, turn the air conditioner on, because I am sweating. And it was kind of a cool night here in L.A. But have you ever seen such misery suffered by both teams down the stretch of a game?
It was a horrible game. It was a good game up until that point, until about 4 or 5 minutes where nobody could make a shot, Skip.
The final score of the fourth quarter was 15-14.
Skip, come on, really?
How about an 84-80 final? How about that? Those two teams, they can score in 120s.
Teams were 22-0 in the regular season while keeping an opponent to 84 or fewer points.
Okay.
3-0 in the postseason.
Yep.
Skip.
I'm not surprised.
Look at this. In game 2, Book and Chris Paul was 10 of 40. The Clippers, the Suns won. Game 3, they were 14 of 44. So in games 2 and 3, Chris Paul and Devin Booker are 24 of 84, and the Clippers didn't win either one of those ball games. Skip, and D Book fouled out. You had him in foul trouble most of the night, and you got to take advantage of those opportunities. Skip, you actually think they're going to continue to shoot this bad for the next? We're going to talk about Ty Lue saying coming back is doable. Do you actually think they're going to continue to shoot that bad? You've got to somehow, Skip. You've got to find a way to win one of these games. You've had to have found a way to win one of these games when they're playing that bad. Chris Paul can't seem to find a rhythm. Devin Booker, give Patrick Beverly some credit because he's doing an unbelievable job on Devin Booker.
Yep.
And the mask, if I told you, I said pretty soon he's going to forego that mask. He's like,
I'm not. Threw it away.
He threw it like,
in the third quarter, he said that's enough.
I'm done with it. He's like, I can have surgery. I was reading what he said. I can have surgery at any point in time. But the Clippers they needed to find a way to win the game when two of their best players are struggling. But Skip, DeAndre Ayton is a monster. Everybody talked about how Zub outplayed him. Zub is not as talented as DeAndre Ayton, but he outplayed him. He said, well, bull jive, that won't happen again. Skip, he a monster. He had 9 offensive rebounds.
They call him the Dominator, and he dominated. It was highly impressive.
Now you see why
a star is emerging.
Now you see why he was the #1 overall draft pick in a draft with
over Luka and Trey.
Yeah,
yep,
now you see.
Okay, what I didn't see coming was my Clippers, who led the NBA in three-point percentage, going 5 of 31 from 3. That's impossibly bad. They don't do that.
You told me what's the chance of them going 3 of 17 in the first half, and they won up to that. I think they went 3 of 18, 3 of 19.
They did, and then they just kept on missing the whole rest of the game. What are the odds they would miss 9 free throws? A couple late were intentional misses, obviously, because they were in trouble.
Well, here's the thing. Paul George wouldn't have had to intentionally miss had he not missed the first one.
Okay, now, I've been very objective about my Clippers, and I'm going to be objective a different way to end this up.
What'd you go say?
I'm going to say that even though the Clippers did not deserve to win that basketball game, they at least deserved 2 chances at the end of the game to redeem themselves. And they were robbed again.
No, stop it.
They were obviously robbed in game 2. That was the biggest robbery of all. But if we could see what happened with 58 seconds left, Terrence Mann goes for just a driving layup, and Bridges just hacks his hand.
This was a foul.
This is a foul. And the NBA on the last 2-minute report admitted he just got slapped across the hand as he's making the shot. It's just a slap. He slapped his hand.
Yeah.
Well, it's an and one. Do I know that Terrence Mann would have made the shot? No. I don't know that for sure, but if he had, that was a crucial point in the final minute of this game.
I think that would have tied the game, wouldn't it?
Well, it would have put them in a position. It would have kept the game. Yes. Yeah. It would have tied the game down the stretch. Yeah. Correct. And then with 7.8 seconds left, we get to an even more egregious blunder by the referees when Batum reaches in on Campaign. If we can see this, he reaches in and hits the ball. We had a play like this in game 2, and it's still on Campaign's hand, and it goes right off his fingertips out of bounds. It's clear as day. I appreciate that Jeff Van Gundy said, wait a second, that's just like the play at the end of game 2, and they didn't even review this one. At least they reviewed the one off Ayton's fingertips at the end of game 2. That is off Cameron Payne. The Clippers would be down 1 with the ball. Well, I didn't like them to make a 3 to tie, but if you can make a 2 to win the game, I feel pretty good about that. And they were denied the opportunity because they didn't even review it. The refs protected themselves and their pride by saying, we got this. We don't even need to look at it.
We're not finna look at everything. We're not finna look at every pump ball that's out of bounds, everything, because that's what you want.
And here's the reputation call at the end of the game. This is just a few more split seconds left, 7 seconds left.
CP3 got trapped.
Yes, CP3. And obviously, the refs are anticipating a foul. Well, there's no foul. And both the Clippers are looking around like, wait a second, look at Batum jumping up and down. That nobody touches him. Nobody touches him.
Oh, yeah,
nobody
Trent.
touches
No,
him.
Brady
Nobody
Brady, hit him in the eye.
touched.
Brady Brady, hit him
Nobody
in the eye.
touched
Hit him
him.
in the eye.
Nobody touched him.
Yeah.
The refs are anticipating a take foul, but there's no take foul.
Hit him in the
There's
eye.
no intentional foul, and Chris Paul flops. He flops. F-L-O-P-S, flops on the floor. I got fouled. Didn't you see that I got fouled? No, I saw a travel. I saw a flat-out travel. Sorry. Your ball, Clippers.
No.
And if it's the Clippers' ball,
No.
I feel real good with 7 seconds
hold on,
left. They're
time out.
only down 1.
So
Could have been tied if you called the right play on Terrence Mann.
Can I ask you a question, Skip? I just want to make sure I'm hearing you correctly. You feel very comfortable with 7.8 seconds after you clank brick after brick after brick for the last 8 minutes.
As have the Suns.
Exactly.
As have the Suns.
So it's going to be a continuation.
It would feel like destiny. It would feel like, what did the Clippers do? They do it the hardest way. Well, that would have been the hardest way. They could play the worst game in the Clippers' history. That's a long, bloody history.
Exactly.
But it felt like the worst playoff game that team has ever played. And to save it and redeem yourself with one last second shot, who knows? Maybe playoff P would emerge with a 20-footer to win the game. I don't know. He was due, wasn't he? He's an all-star, a 4-time all-star.
Yeah, the man is 5 of 20.
Okay. He had made a shot to start the fourth quarter. He made a 20-footer.
And that was the last shot that he made.
Okay, that's fine. But I just felt good about it if you give them the opportunity. But obviously the memo has come down from the league office. We do not want the team without Kawhi Leonard in the finals.
Don't do that.
We want the team with Chris Paul and with Devin Booker and with the emerging star dominator.
Don't do that.
Ayton.
Yeah, don't do that.
Right?
Don't
That's
do
what
that.
they want.
Don't do that.
Well, I just showed you 3 plays in the last 58 seconds where missed call, and missed call.
But guess what you also showed? 12 times where the Clippers had an opportunity to either tie the game or take the lead,
away.
and they bricked it.
They bricked it. They choked it.
Okay.
They gagged it. They threw up all over themselves for almost the entire fourth quarter, and they deserve the right for redemption.
You see what you did there, Skip Bayless? Now, after they done gagged the entire night, you want the referees to come bail them out.
Well, is that what happened? Did the referees say you don't deserve these calls?
You don't.
You hadn't earned them for the game?
Because you've been bricking the whole night.
That's some big missed calls, man.
That was some big missed shots, man.
Okay.
And your guy, remember the guy that you talked about, that you said,
Playoff
okay,
P.
yeah, he your guy now?
Yeah.
That's him. Gagged it off.
The series is not over yet.
It's not over
Hold on.
yet.
Did I get my case? I got my
Not
5 cases
over.
back. That's all I want.
5 cases. We didn't bet 5 cases.
Yeah.
On that. We did not. We bet 2 cases, and you lost one
the tape.
on what was it? We had something on
Giannis
Giannis, on Friday night.
But that don't count. He only played like 20-something minutes.
I don't care. You made the bet. I didn't make it.
Oh, so really?
Yeah, you think in Vegas they'd say, we'll give you your money back on that?
Oh, you Vegas? So you Vegas now you Vegas Bailey, huh?
I'm the house.
Okay, well, maybe we can put up a new bet on this next one.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.